Despite of all the challenges, Brigadier General Richard Otto, the Uganda People's Defence Forces contingent commander, said the situation is not affecting operations in his area of responsibility. Since December 2017, AMISOM has been reducing its troops numbers in line with relevant UN Security Council decisions. Ugandan troops are in charge of Sector 1, controlling the metropolitan Mogadishu city area and Lower Shabelle region, which is the largest. Also, due to the global coronavirus pandemic, Sector 1 has had to put on hold the rotation of its troops both in and out of the mission. But Brigadier General Otto noted that this has not affected operations or dampened the morale of the troops.
I had troops who were supposed to rotate out, but they have not rotated out because of this same situation I'm telling you. Most of the countries have still closed their airspace, including the international airports and the border post. But this one is aimed at protecting and controlling the spread of disease from every country. So my troops have been informed and they are aware. It has not affected their morale. They are not worried because the problem is, if imagine their families were dying, they are receiving phone calls, that definitely was going to affect their morale. But the situation has been managed both at home and here. And they know it's a question of time. When the situation goes down, they will definitely be released to go home.
Brigadier General Otto says the troops are maintaining all their locations, continuing with offensive missions against Al-Shabaab and protecting population centers and main supply routes.
All the main supply routes under my sector, they are all operational. The vehicles continue to move, and even the civilian vehicles, they continue to move from Lower Shabelle into Mogadishu, and from Mogadishu back to those towns, including Janale, Maraka, up to Barawa.
Speaking at the AMISOM base camp sector in Mogadishu, Brigadier General Otto said counter-offensive operations that resulted in the capture of major bridge towns, especially of Janale, in the Lower Shabelle region early this year, had dealt a huge blow to Al-Shabaab, denying the militants freedom of movement and operation and seriously curtailing their ability to wage war.
When we captured Janale, we found a very big, I would call it local factory for manufacturing improvised explosive devices. And since Janale was captured by AMISOM, the situation has changed completely because Al-Shabaab is no longer free to cross River Shabelle from the northern part and come to the southern part, because that was the only bridge remaining on River Shabelle, which is under the enemy.
Uganda AMISOM forces, together with the Somali National Army, last year launched Operation Badbado, capturing 4 key bridge towns, Sabidi Anole, Barile, and Adwego, culminating in the total capture of Greater Janale in March 2020. Following a string of defeats, General Otto said Al-Shabaab intensified the use of improvised explosive devices and shelling mortars.
Al-Shabaab has really lost ground. And they don't have a particular area where if you go, you find Al-Shabaab only. They always mix with the people, they hide within the population. They use mortars to just, sell the population.
He said that a key factor in the fight against Al-Shabaab has been the increasing capabilities of the Somali National Army, as seen with their capacity to fight and hold ground. As in new changes yesterday, General Otto has served as Updf contingent commander for 1 year. Is set to rotate out to take up a new role as the Deputy Chief of Military Intelligence and will hand over the mantle to Major General Don Nabassa.